TV soap news and spoilers say that today's story dives into the heart of one of Days of Our Lives' most emotionally gripping sagas, the fate of Bo Brady. It's a tale of love, regret, guilt, and a family caught between holding on and letting go. And now, just when all seemed lost, a sliver of light cuts through the dark. Could Bo finally be waking up? If you followed the heartbreak, the drama, and the long months of silence, then you know this story is about much more than medical charts and hospital beds. It's about fathers and sons. It's about lovers separated by time, space, and tragedy. It's about what we hold on to when everything else is slipping away. And now it's about a single question. Is Bo Brady coming back to us? Let's rewind to where this all began, because the road to this moment has been paved with painful choices, unimaginable guilt, and a family left in limbo. A tragic mistake, Shawn's heartbreaking decision. The saga began with a moment that shattered lives and sent shockwaves through Salem. Shawn Brady, acting on instinct and fear, arrived at a tense and volatile situation where he believed his father, Bo Brady, was in immediate danger. Acting swiftly and tragically, Shawn pulled the trigger. Yes, it was Shawn who shot his own father. The weight of that decision is almost too much to bear. It wasn't malice. It wasn't carelessness. It was fear, raw, desperate, human fear. And in that split-second decision, he unknowingly altered the course of his entire family's life. Bo survived the gunshot wound, but barely. Instead of healing, his body shut down. His mind slipped into darkness. And soon, he was placed in a coma, his strong, heroic presence reduced to a silent figure in a hospital bed, suspended in time. From there, he was moved to a long-term care facility in Greece, far from the heart of Salem, far from the family that needed him, and from the town that has never stopped praying for his recovery. Hope's Vigil, a love that refuses to die. Throughout this tragedy, Hope Brady has remained Bo's most steadfast guardian. A woman who has loved fiercely, fought bravely, and lost deeply, Hope has never once wavered in her belief that Bo would return to her. While the world moved on, Hope stayed by his side, refusing to abandon the man who once risked everything for her. She's watched the seasons change from the window of a Greek facility, reading to him, speaking to him, and holding his hand even as it lay still in hers. And just recently, something happened that shook Hope's world. The funeral and the flicker of life. In one of the most emotionally jarring moments in recent Salem history, Doug Williams, beloved patriarch and cornerstone of the Horton family, passed away. His funeral was a time for mourning, a time for family to come together, a time for honoring a life lived with kindness and wisdom. But Hope Brady was not there. She was late, missing, absent from one of the most important moments in her family's lives. And why? Because Bo moved his hand. Yes, while she sat at his bedside, quiet, exhausted, yet still hopeful, Bo's fingers twitched. It was subtle, barely there, but to Hope it was everything. She alerted the doctors immediately. Specialists were called, monitors were checked, tests were run. The hope that she had clung to for so long had finally seemed justified. Could this be the moment she had waited for? Was Bo finally, after all these months of silence, coming back to her? Crushing silence, when hope fades again. But what happened next was devastating. The doctors, after hours of analysis and emotionless scans, came back with a familiar verdict. No significant neurological change. In other words, nothing. Hope was crushed. Once again, she was left in a cruel limbo. One moment, she's on the edge of a miracle. The next, she's being told that it was likely just a reflex, a coincidence, a phantom flicker of false hope. But Hope isn't the kind of woman to walk away after a single disappointment. And for those who know her well, that spark she saw, that movement she felt, it was real. The winds of change, signs point to awakening. Now, just as Salem is beginning to process its grief and move forward, whispers are spreading. Whispers that the doctors may have been wrong, or at least too quick to judge. In the coming days, Shawn Brady is set to receive life-changing news about his father, news that could alter the course of everything that's happened. We don't yet know exactly what this update entails, but sources hint that Bo is showing more signs of awareness, possibly even beginning the first stages of waking up. And if that's true, it's not just a medical recovery. It's an emotional resurrection. For Hope, for Shawn, and for the entire Brady family. The guilt eating Shawn alive. Let's not forget that no one has suffered more under the weight of Bo's condition than Shawn himself. Every day he carries the burden of knowing it was his bullet that put Bo in that bed. He sees the pain in Hope's eyes. He hears the silence when someone mentions Bo's name. He remembers the moment, the crack of the gun, the shock on his father's face, and he relives it again and again. He visits, he watches, but he never feels forgiven. Now, with the possibility that Bo might be coming back, Shawn faces a terrifying question. What if Bo remembers everything? Will there be forgiveness, or will Bo wake to a world where his own son's face is a reminder of his greatest betrayal? A community waiting with bated breath. Salem is no stranger to miracles. This town has seen returns from the dead, unexpected twins, resurrections, and redemption. But this is different. This is Bo Brady, a man who has defined courage, love, and family for decades. His return wouldn't just be a medical miracle. It would be a restoration of faith. It would heal old wounds, reignite passions, possibly even bring fractured families back together. Hope has waited, Shawn has suffered, and the town has held its breath. And now, perhaps, finally, the wait is over. What comes next? A future unwritten. If Bo does wake up, there are 1,000 questions waiting to be answered. How long will his recovery take? Will he remember everything? Can he forgive Shawn? Will he and Hope rebuild what they lost? And most importantly, is this the start of a new story or the final chapter of an old one? Our TV channel Soap News and Spoilers is the place for those who want to know how the Salem story goes, as well as great Days of Our Lives updates and news. So, subscribe to our channel to get what you want. Bye-bye.